This is my recommended setup for the XCE Bar, the latest sniper rifle added to Battlefield 2042. I will be doing a full breakdown later on this video, so make sure to stick around for that. Starting off, we've got the 5x sight, followed by the 1.5 3x hybrid, and then finally the 8x. For the magazine, we've got the standard issue extended, followed by the close combat, and then the high power. For the underbarrel, we've got the BCG light grip, followed by the COBRA grip, and then finally the LS1 laser sight, and then finally for the muzzle, we got the ARCOM tactical muzzle brake, followed by the factory barrel, and then finally the wrap suppressor. So that's my recommended setup for the XCE Bar sniper rifle. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments down below. Always like to get your feedback on this, if I can make any changes, make it better, or if you agree with it, let me know. Always looking to get feedback. Now, let's get into the breakdown. Just quickly, with DICE changing the glint mechanics and making it so any scope above 4x scope has a glint, that hasn't really factored into or influenced my sight choices, but just so you guys are aware that this is now a new thing that's been brought into Battlefield 2042. It's one of those. Now, into sights, starting off, we've got the 5x medium range scope. It allows me to take targets out that are close to medium range. I don't end up losing them if I was having like an 8x scope, say, or a 12x scope in close quarter situations. I found that sometimes I can lose the enemy due to that increased magnification. You can sort of lose sight of the enemy. Moving on, we've got the 3 to 1.5x scope. This is used for sort of pushing the objective, but I'd also use my secondary just in case I need to get caught out by multiple enemies. Switch to my secondary, but that 3 to 1.5 sight just used there primarily for pushing and being more aggressive on the objective. And then finally for sights, we've got the 8x. So this is needed if I need to engage other snipers at range. I'd switch to the 8x scope just to get that extra magnification so I can get those satisfying one-shot kills. Going to the magazines, we've got the standard issue extended, so I get 7 bullets compared to 5, so 2 extra bullets. Just give me that bit more leeway if I miss shots. You'll see here I missed quite a few shots, so it gives me that bit more leeway so I can hopefully get the enemy before they get into cover. Next up, we've got the close combat. This is probably the magazine I use the most. It gives increased rate of fire and reload speed are the main benefits. So it's really useful for pushing, being up close, being like an aggressive sniper, and that's what I like to play. And then finally we've got the high power, so I use this when I need to engage enemies at range, since it sort of gives that kind of benefit. Helps with sort of, being able to counter snipe other enemy snipers. Going on to the underbarrel, we've got the BCG light grip. So it has increased aim down sight accuracy, one of the main things you want for a sniper rifle. Most of the time you'll be aiming down sights, so that's why I went with that. Then we got the COBRA grip, so increased accuracy while static. Sometimes use this if I need to sort of counter snipe enemy snipers at range, just give me that bit more accuracy. And then finally we've got the laser sight, but I would change this. I have been switching between the laser sight and the bipod, so it's up to you kind of how you want to play this. I like being an aggressive sniper, so most of the time I'm on the go, but I have found that using the bipod when I want to sort of medium to medium long range snipe has been useful. But I use the laser sight if I was on the objective or in a really close quarter situation. This helps me get that hip fire shot off, maybe damage the enemy for 80, and I can switch to my pistol and finish them off, that kind of thing. Going to the barrel, we got the ARCOM tactical muzzle brake, so brings the accuracy up to 90, which is, we want to be as accurate as possible with the sniper rifle, and I have found it makes a difference. Then we got the factory barrel, so for its all-round performance, similar to the ARCOM, but to be honest, now that I think about it, I don't really need it, and I have sort of since removed it from this list when it's sort of before editing this video. So the factory barrel, don't worry about it, I haven't got it on there. And then next up, we got the wrap suppressor. It doesn't reduce the damage compared to the other suppressors, and it helps me be a bit more stealth. So if I find like a good spot I can post up and provide cover and fire from, I'll put the suppressor on, just so that way then I stay off the mini-map to enemies sort of 40 meters and beyond, so I don't get found as easily, and I can keep sort of covering my teammates. So the XCE Bar versus other sniper rifles, how does it compare to those other sniper rifles, you may be asking? So it's one of the faster firing sniper rifles. It's similar to the SWS-10, but it does have less damage and range, but has better accuracy and handling. But the SWS-10 is better due to its sort of the bullet drop and sort of damage drop off that happened, bullet velocity, sorry, of the XCE Bar makes the SWS-10 a better option. But like I said, I do like the sort of the bolt speed of this gun, and I have found it useful for being like an aggressive sniper. So when I'm like up close, velocity isn't too much of a worry, since I'm not sort of going for those like anything beyond 200 meters. The XCE Bar suffers, but I like to be sort of up close and personal. As you can see from this gameplay, most of the time I like to be pushing, so I haven't found the velocity to be too much of like a worry or anything I need to be worried about when using this weapon. But if I was going to do some long range sniping, or you know, be a bit more sort of anything above 200 meters, I may switch to the SWS-10 in the future. But if you want like a sniper that's better for long range engagement, I'd suggest either the DXR1 or the NTW50, since they're kind of more built around that extreme to long range sniping. When you see those clips of people like hitting like 500, 900 meter snipers, you want those ones. The XCE Bar isn't going to be doing that for you. But that's it for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the XCE Bar. You know, I've got plenty more weapon reviews coming for both the new portal weapons and the weapons added in the battle pass, so make sure to subscribe for that. Got a lot of guides and stuff planned as well for the future around Battlefield 2042, as well as previous Battlefield games. So if you want to see that, drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, until the next one, have a good one.